Hello everyone, welcome to episode 20 of the Rock and Roll Wrestling Show. It's your host as always, me, Chris Levi 13. Now as you can see by my t-shirt, I am a fan of the show Big Bang Theory and have been since season 1, episode 1, all the way to now. And that is one of the shows that me and my mom watch together. Bazinga! Now before I get into the wrestling and music topics from around the world, what this show is about, I want to show a little shout out video that professional wrestler and one of my favorite ECW superstars of all time, Justin Credible, made for me. Now, I will mention he did get the name of the show a little wrong, but nonetheless, I am overjoyed that he made a shout-out video, and I want to show it to all of my fans, family, and friends who watch this show. Here you go.
Hey Chris, this is hardcore icon Justin Credible. I know you do a wrestling show called Rockin' Wrestling. I'd love to give you a shout-out. Your show, Rockin' Wrestling, is not just the coolest, it's not just the best. Your Rockin' Wrestling show is just incredible. You gotta have me on sometime. See ya.
Hope you all enjoyed the little shout-out video that Justin Credible gave me for my show, because I know myself, I will always enjoy it. But without further ado, let's get straight into the wrestling and music news from around the world. Now, as noted in WWE World Wrestling Entertainment, they had their recent pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. A pay-per-view that I do like because the concept of the Hell in a Cell match, the Hell in a Cell structure, is something that I am a big fan of. Now, at the pay-per-view, you saw Seth versus Dean inside the cell, Randy Orton versus John Cena. Inside the cell, you saw Nikki versus Brie Bella, Miz versus Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler versus Cesaro, Big Show versus Rusev, and so on and so forth. But I'm only going to talk about a handful of the matches that I really liked. I liked the 2 out of 3 falls match between Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro because they both were hard-hitting people. And for a point there, I thought Cesaro might have got a fall in the match. But one of my favorites in the WWE, a guy that I would love to see world champion again, but I don't know if that ever happened because they only got one title as a world champion now. The Intercontinental Champion retained his title, Dolph Ziggler, which I love Dolph Ziggler. I love him. And I have a feeling that when Wade Barrett, Bad News Barrett, returns, he is going to go straight into the feud with the Intercontinental Champion, Dolph Ziggler, because Wade Barrett never really dropped the belt. He had to give up the belt due to injury. Let me take us to that with some good tea. Yeah, that tea is just good. The other matches I liked on the show, I did like Randy versus John Cena, even though we've seen that for like the 1,000th time. We've always seen them fight all of these years since they both came in the WWE the same year. And I enjoyed the match. I really believed, and I think Randy Orton should have defeated John Cena because John Cena has faced Brock Lesnar so many times. Not only this year, he faced him twice this year, but he's faced him in past years. He's faced him when Brock Lesnar was in his first run with the WWE, and so on and so forth. I'd like to see Randy versus Brock Lesnar instead of John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. But John Cena is the face of the company, and no matter what we say, they're going to do what they want to do. But that's why I'm here, to give my opinions and views on things in WWE. Another match that I really enjoyed, I didn't really care for Rusev and Big Show because Rusev once again defeated another person, and now he moves on to this next thing, and blah blah, which I'll speak on in just a moment. We saw Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, where Dean came out there, had like it looked like on his back, but one of those cases that you hold like a pool stick in, but he had a kendo stick in it. He went to the top of the cell. He waited for Seth to come. Seth didn't climb the cell yet. Seth waited until the 2 Goonies, you know who they are, climbed up there, and fucking Noble and Jamie Noble and fucking Mercury climbed up there, and they went after Dean Ambrose. But you know what? That didn't really work well, did it? Nope. Because Seth came up there and started attacking him, and then the 2 Goons got put down by Dean, and then it was a fight between Seth and Dean Ambrose. And that fight went from the top of the cell down to the side of it. Both of them fell off, went in to the Spanish and the regular commentary tables, and then they both look like they're going to get caught off in stretchers. Nope, Dean jumped off his stretcher, went over there, beat up Seth. They went back and fought in the cell, blah blah blah, in the match, and it looked like Dean was about to give a curb stomp on the way that Seth gave to him. But nope, that didn't happen, did it? No, people. Out of nowhere, we see lights go out. A light shines from the middle of the ring. With a lantern sitting there. in an image. Dean goes towards the image, and out of nowhere, Bray Wyatt appears and attacks Dean Ambrose, helping Seth Rollins get the win. And then after Seth Rollins took the win and got out of there, Dean Ambrose hit the Sister Abigail on to Dean Ambrose. Now, what do I think about the feud that they're building between Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt? Love it. And I've got a fans quote on it, one of my best friends, David Flores. He says, I asked him what he thought about the feud, and he says, I think the feud is awesome. Both can show off their mic skills and can keep them both occupied so they're not buried among the other wrestlers in the company, which I wholeheartedly agree with what my friend David Flores from Georgia thinks, because I do like Dean and Bray Wyatt. They both got skills in the ring. They both got skills on the mic. And to see those two kind of lunatic, crazy, out there gimmicks guys go against each other is really, really awesome. Now back to Rusev. Rusev defeated Big Show at the pay-per-view and then went on to do his little things. And then he got into a feud with Sheamus. In the last Monday Night Raw on the network, Rusev has defeated Sheamus and took the United States Championship. Which I do not like because I'm a fan of Sheamus. But then again, Rusev to be an unstoppable guy from America to come in, be like an Iron Sheik or something like that is fucking phenomenal. Love it. Now in NXT, because I'm going to talk about NXT because I want to say a little bit on that before I get into the TNAs and ROH stuff, is that I love Adrian Neville, the NXT champion. I love his number one contender, Sami Zayn. But I also love the Ascension on there. I love Tyler Breeze. I love the debut of Finn Balor and all this stuff that's happening on TNT because it's great wrestling, it's great matches, great stuff happening there. And I know that when these guys get to the WWE and become the next generation, as the John Cenas, the Randy Ortons, the Big Shows, the Mark Henrys, even maybe the Sheamuses, and the so on and so forth start getting towards the end of their careers, those guys can pick up the page right there, and make WWE great for years to come. Now to TNA. I don't got a lot of TNA news or a lot of ROH news this show, but I will have a lot more next episode. But TNA, the world champion TNA is the It Factor, Bobby Roode. Which I'm a fan of Bobby Roode. I was a fan of him ever since he debuted, ever since I've seen him. I loved him when he was as James Storms and all that. But now Bobby Roode is the world champion. I saw him in a match versus MVP on the show. And he looked like it was a real stiff match. It looked like he was going to get defeated, but then again, he defeated MVP and then went on to get attacked by Bobby Lashley. And then if he's like, hey, Lashley, help me. And then Bobby Lashley's like, nope. And then Bobby Lashley was like, nope. MVP, you're on your own, basically. And as for other TNA and ROH news, I don't got much of it for this show. But I will have a lot more next episode. I will guarantee that. And I've got a quick question to ask you in a minute, people. Now, the question I'm about to ask you, people, is kind of two questions about one person. And the person is one of my best friends, Trey Kemp, known as Trey Kemp 12, right here on YouTube, who does the wrestling talk show called Trey's Point of View, or T's POV for short, whatever you may want to call it. And the questions are, I wonder if people watch my show, people watch his show, anybody viewing this video may know who his favorite wrestler of all time is, and who his favorite bad guy in wrestling of all time is. If you can get that answer correct, send it to me via comment on this video, via Facebook, text, Instagram, Twitter, however you may contact me. And I'd like to see who can get that right. Now, when I was getting my music topics ready for this show, as I normally do, I was asking people, what should I talk about? And people said again, let's talk about Slipknot, Foo Fighters, Papa Roach, the Veer Union, Woven War, and stuff like that. And I was like, sure. I like those bands. I like their music. I like what they do. I will talk about it. Since the last show, when I talked about The Gray Chapter by Slipknot, I have officially listened to the whole album. And I can say from top to bottom, it is a very excellent album. To me, I don't know where I could rate it among their albums. I say maybe number 2 out of all the albums I've heard from them. And it is a very deep and emotional album because it does talk. And if you listen to this stuff, you can hear and see and listen to the emotion that they just express. And the death of Paul Gray, the former bass player of Slipknot. And also the departure of Jordan Jordison and all of this stuff. From the Negative One to the Devil in the Eye to Custer and to all of it. You know, it's just really, really good. And I've always been a fan of Slipknot. But over the last couple of years, I've just been listening to more and more of their music, becoming a much more bigger fan for what they do as a band. And I really think it's really cool the way that they wear the mask and do all that stuff, because it's their personality, their charisma, the way they show themselves to the world, which is awesome. Now to Foo Fighters, the Sonic Highways album is their new album, which as soon as it comes out, I will buy it and listen to the whole album and give a review of it in a future video. But I saw them on the David Letterman show. I saw them when they did War Pigs with the guy from, I forgot what his name, but they did the song with the country artist in War Pigs, which I thought was awesome. And I think that their band is doing pretty dang good so far. I like that the Foo Fighters are back and getting back on the road, doing all these tours, and I hope that they come to Memphis, because next time Foo Fighters come to Memphis, I'm going to do what it takes to go see them. Now, fans, real quick before I get into the rest of the music topics and all this, I want to give a few shout-outs before I finish the show up, and with the rest of the music talks and so on. A few shout-outs go again to Tees POV, Trey Camp, who does Tees POV, is known as Trey Camp 12 right here on YouTube. He is bringing back his show this month. With the help of myself and him, he's gonna get the show back. He's got a new intro, a new theme, which he'll debut in that show, and it's just gonna be awesome. And I hope you people not only subscribe to me, but you go find him and subscribe to him and all this stuff. I've also got a friend named TJ who on his channel, which I'll share a link of his channel on my Rock and Roll Wrestling Show Facebook page. But he talks about a bunch of WWE talks. He'll review pay-per-views. He'll review Raw, SmackDowns, old pay-per-views, and whatnot. And it's really cool what he does. I'm a big fan. I didn't really know what I think of this stuff when I first saw it as a guy who does videos like he does. But when I started watching this stuff and the more I got into it, I like his opinions and views. Another guy I want to give a shout out to is Mr. John Rucker, the creator of iRock. There's iRock 1, which does a lot of more metal rock stuff, but hey, it's really good music. But then there's iRock 2 that does some wrestling themes, which I think is cool too. And the way he gets exclusive music and does all this stuff, and the way he does his videos, I find it very, very cool. And I hope that him and iRock keeps having success and it gets bigger and bigger. And the way that he talks about music and discusses music, maybe one day whenever he really starts to do, maybe does videos and whatsoever, that he gets a big fan base and all this, because he knows a lot about his music and his artist. Now back to the music, and I'm done with the shout-outs. I've heard the song and saw the video by Bring Me the Horizon, Drown. And I looked into it, and it wasn't as heavy as they normally do sometimes. But the song was musically and put together in a way that I liked it. So, if you have time, go on YouTube and check out the song Bring Me Horizon's Drown. D-R-O-W-N. Sorry about that. Let me take a little drink because my throat's getting a little dry. Another song that I saw on YouTube, I don't know if they have a video for it, but it was the audio of it, was Papa Roach's song Warriors. I think it's one of their newer songs, and I'm a big fan of it because hey, I've seen Papa Roach live. I saw them with Egypt Central and a couple other bands, and it was just, oh yeah, rocking on. But Papa Roach, their song Warriors is a very, very good song. Positive song, and I've shared it on the Rock and Roll Wrestling Show Facebook page. So if you go look down to the post I did, you can find it and you can go check it out yourself. A couple other bands that I'd like to give a shout out to, and I'd like to say, hey, if you haven't checked them out, go check them out. Go check out Rev Theory, 3 Days Grace, Woven Warrior, The Very Union, We As Human, and so on and so forth. Because those are bands that in recent I've been listening to more and more, because I've always listened to them since I first found out about them, whether it be this year, last year, the year before. But in recent I've just been listening to more and more stuff. And I'm glad to be back doing this show. This is the second show since I've officially been back full time. Second or third show since I've been back full time doing the show, having internet at home and whatnot. But doing this and doing that, it really makes me happy. And I know I don't give the best wrestling or music news, but I am doing what it takes to improve day by day, week by week, month by month. And I hope that you, if you have any ideas, any suggestions to make me better, help me get better, that you send it my way, because I would appreciate that. And if you do, I will give you a shout out right on this show, as I give my friends and other people shout outs. Now with that, as always, people, as always, do this right here. Keep on rocking and a-rolling. Hit. A day to remember. One badass band. See you next time.